Hi guys, so today we're factoring trinomials, and a trinomial, this word here, starts with the prefix tri, which means that's something that has three parts. So we can do this method when our trinomial has three parts. So first we're going to look for a GCF, so something that's in common. I see that these two have x, but this one doesn't have x, so I can't take that out. And then there's nothing in common between 1 and 9 and 20, except for 1, so we know there is not a GCF. So we're going to identify B and C. So as you guys remember, this is A, B, and C. And we're going to write C on top, 20. That's what we're multiplying to get. And B on bottom. That's what we're adding to get. So we're going to write down all the factor pairs for C. So for 20, I'm thinking about like 1 times 20, or 2 times 10, 3 times nothing, 4 times 5, 6 times nothing, 7 times nothing, 8 times nothing, 9 times nothing, 10 times 2. So we already wrote that one down. So I'm going to look to see which of those can add to give me 9. So I have 21, 12, and 9. So I know that I have 4 and 5. So I know that those are my factors, 4 and 5. So I'm going to put them right here, 4 and 5. So I'd have 4 and 5. This would be x plus 4, x plus 5. I can always check my work by putting them on the outside of the box and multiplying these two things together. So I'd have x squared, 5x, 4x, and 5 times 4 is 20. I know that these two are going to add together, so I'd have x squared plus 9x plus 20. And as long as this equals what we start with, which it is, then this is our answer. Right, so we're not flipping the sign, we're not doing anything crazy, we're just finding the factors, and this direction, the factors are right there. So let's try another one. Remember that our first step is to look for a GCF. So when I look here, I see that I can take a 2 out of each of these. So I'm going to go ahead and take that 2 out, put that 2 in front. I have x squared left over here. Negative 22 divided by 2 is 11x. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So I can see that I have that there. I want to make sure that that factor does stay on the outside as a GCF. And then I'm going to go ahead and label this A, B, and C. I remember B on bottom, C on top. From there, I'm thinking of things that multiply to get 30. So multiplying to get 30, 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 3 times 10, 4 times nothing, 5 times 6, and 6 times 5, so I know I'm done. And I'm looking for things that multiply to get 11. Because this is positive and this is negative here, I know that those both have to be negative, because a negative times a negative is a positive, and negative makes a big negative there. So I'm looking for two numbers that add to get 11. I can see that that would be 5 and 6. So put 5 here and 6 there. So I know that the 2 is coming straight down. And I have two parentheses, x here, and I have negative 5, minus 5, and negative 6, minus 6. I can always double check in my box. So I'm going to put x minus 5, x minus 6, x squared, negative 5x, negative 6x, and 30. These add up together to give me negative 11, so x squared minus 11x plus 30. I can see that's what I had right here, right? And then I know if I multiply by 2, I get back to where I started. So I know that what I have written here is the correct version and my answer. All right. And then we're going to do one more here. So you can take a second to pause if you'd like. You have some more practice on the back as well. I'm going to look first for a GCF. It's always my first step. I see 3 and 12. I know both of those have 3, so I'm going to check 63 divided by 3 is 21. So I'm going to have that. So I'm taking out 3 from each of these. 3 lives here. X squared minus 4x minus 21. So I know my 3 is going to be on the outside there. I know that this is B and this is C. So B on bottom, C on top. Multiplying to get 21, adding to get negative 4. So 21 is 1 and 21, 2 and nothing, 3 and 7, 4 and nothing, 5 and nothing, 6 and nothing, 7 and 3. So those are the only two pairs, and I'm trying to get negative 4. I know that these are 4 away from each other, so I could do 7 and 3. 7 minus 3 would give me positive 4, but I don't want positive 4, I want negative 4. So negative 7 plus 3 would be negative 4. So I know I have x minus 7 and x plus 3. I'm going to double check real fast. X minus 7, x plus 3, x squared, 3x, negative 7x, negative 21. I can see that that is going to give me back what I had here. So I know this is my correct answer. One thing to be very careful of is that I put my GCF out front. That's pretty much it. You can go ahead and flip over. You have 3 more practices on the back side you should do for your notes. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.